Hello viewers, thank you for another day like this. Welcome you to Human Emancipation Network, where we give you the right stuff and education concerning life, concerning spirituality and social justice. As you've been following up in our series on COVID-19, this pandemic, China virus, Wuhan virus, we are happy today to present another one, the greatest development in our country, Nigeria. Fella said, government magic. Our House of Representative members are bringing out government magic. Government magic. So follow us as we go on today's topic. It's very hot. Let's go. NCDC Infectious Disease Control Bill 2020, introduced on April 30th, 2020 and sponsored by the following persons. Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, representing Surulere Federal Constituency, Lagos State, and equally Speaker, House of Representatives of Nigeria, followed by Honorable Sununu Tanko Yusuf, representing Yauri, Shanga, Ngaski, Federal Constituency of Kebbi State, followed by Dr. Pascal Chigoziobi, representing Idato North, Idato South Federal Constituency of Imo State. What is at stake? The NCDC Infectious Bill, fictitious. Why many are calling for the stop of NCDC Bill? And what is the NCDC Bill? The NCDC Bill contains this and more, but we don't want to take you into so much grammar. These are the summary of what they presented. The bill seeks to legalize compulsory vaccination against infectious diseases, makes it a criminal offense for failure to comply with compulsory vaccination, vaccination as a condition for international travel in and out of Nigeria, mandates the parents of every child to ensure the vaccination of their children against the diseases. You must have vaccination certificate to move around Nigeria and abroad. Gives NCDC Director General powers to prohibit gatherings of or associations, to convert or demolish properties of infected persons with COVID-19. This is very wonderful. Now, let's watch the reactions. In the proper perspective, when such bill is supposed to be enacted, the agency of government that is responsible for the control of diseases has to be carried around. But in this regard, the House of Representatives neglected to carry around the Nigerian CDC DG. There was no input from them because there was an ulterior motive. Now let's hear the NCDC director. To be honest, I saw the bill just like everyone else circulating on social media. I take it in a good way. I am personally not in favor of drafting a bill in the middle of a crisis, NCDC DG said. NCDC, right from the day this bill was presented on April 30th, he voiced out that he was not aware of it.
The second question, I think it was Rachel that asked about the bill. To be honest, I saw the bill, just like you did yesterday, circulating on social media. And I take it in a good way. I think the members of the House of Reps, everybody's concerned about the situation and where we found ourselves in. And I think they are doing their very best to come up with solutions. The only solutions that they can come up with are new laws. So I take it positively that they are doing something. Of course, the bill requires more consultation. I am personally not in favor of drafting a bill in the middle of a crisis. I think we need to get over the crisis, get our heads around what has happened, and use the momentum to engage with all stakeholders to come up with a bill that will really serve this country for now, but serve it well into the future.
Let's proceed and see. Now, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, Speaker, House of Representatives, defend and rushes the passage of the bill. a bill that was presented on the 30th, unlike the normal procedures of the House of Representatives and Legislature, passed the first reading, the second reading, within 1 hour. This bill has scaled the first reading, second reading, waiting for the third reading. This is a fictitious bill. There's an ulterior motive by the House of Representative speakers and members that sponsored this bill. They have something in their cupboard skeleton because there's an interest. They are representing a foreign interest to overload the compulsory vaccination over Nigerians, to make it compulsory for you to have, certificate of inoculation and vaccination before you move in and around Nigeria. Your children will bear the certificate wherever they are going to school. You can't move, you can't go anywhere except you have the certificate. And then the property of any person that is infected will be destroyed and demolished. This is so marvelous. These people are so wonderful. In Nigeria, you will be suffering about banditry and Boko Haram. They've never made a bill to stop Boko Haram and banditry. So why are they so much in a haste and rush to pass this NCDC Infectious Disease Control Bill in 1 day, which is practically impossible? Something is there. We're going to see why it is so. Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, Speaker of House of Reps, defends and rushes the passage of the bill. You are going to see it in the video when he was defending and convincing the House of Representative members to pass this bill that it was an emergency bill.
Honorable colleagues, I rise to move that a bill for an act to repeal the Quarantine Act, Cap. 2 laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the Control of Infectious Disease Bill, make provisions relating to quarantine and make regulations for preventing the introduction into and spread in Nigeria of dangerous infectious diseases, and for related matters, HB 836. Be ready second time. Honorable colleagues, we've already spent an hour and a half debating the last motion, so we're going to make this as brief as possible, because it's also a very straightforward bill. To empower the NCDC in several areas, in matters of quarantine and the administration of public health and infectious diseases. I thank you very much, and I hope that this bill will pass second reading and go straight to third reading and straight to the Senate. Like somebody has rightly pointed out, this is an emergency session, more or less. And I say drastic situations call for drastic measures. Let me apologize that the bill has not been circulated. But the important thing is that a public hearing is not a sine qua non for the passage of any bill in this House.
So, after that, Nigerians were awoken by this fictitious and dubious bill. The passage of this bill is not for the interest of Nigerians, but for the interest of those who sponsored this bill. What is the interest of the sponsors of this bill? We are going to see what is their interest. This is their interest. The Coalition of United Political Parties says, as appeared in Daily Post newspapers of May 4th, accused the House of Representatives that Bill Gates offered House of Representatives $10 million bribe for speedy passage of compulsory vaccine bill. Coalition of United Political Parties allege $10 million to put Nigerians in bondage, to make a legislation and bill that will control our lives, to make sure that everyone takes the vaccination compulsorily, to infuse death into our lives, into our children, to regulate our lives, our movements, and to take over any property or destroy it that has an infected person. That is why in a day, which has never happened in any legislative house before, to pass bill to scale first reading, second reading in one day. As you watch in the video, you see how the Speaker of the House of Representatives, only him stood. Apart from those that supported him, he convinced and taught how it was necessary that this bill should. In a minute, he said that even if they passed it, now later it can be amended. Have you seen such a dubious man? I showed you people the pictures of those that sponsored this bill so that you can earmark them. I showed you the picture of Femi Bajamila. He's representing Surulere, Federal Constituency in Lagos. Those who are around Surulere, mark him and mark his house and his people. Earmark them. The other Pascal Chigozie from either North and South. I showed you their picture so that you can know their face. Earmark them. Also, watch the face of Honorable Sununu from Kebbi State. Know their faces. And those that will support this bill to pass it, know their faces. What will happen to them at the end of this presentation? So that you'll be equipped. As I'm giving you this information, you'll be equipped. You get ready for this onslaught against this animal in human skins. Let's go ahead and see the next action. How will this NCDC Infectious Disease Control Bill affect Nigerians when passed? You will lose your rights, freedom, and become a zombie. You lose your human rights. You don't have rights to choose. The NCDC Director and the Minister of Health takes over your rights. They decide. To the extent part of the bill, they say that the police officer has a right to arrest anyone suspected to have COVID-19 on the road. We are giving such and bringing police that collect money from taxi drivers. Everybody has become a suspect when you are involving the police in such a thing. Now, the police suspect everybody as an armed robber, as a kidnapper. Now you are involving them. A policeman has a right to look at your face. I'm suspecting you have COVID-19. Then he takes the person to the police station and then writes statement and then bribe goes in and then the person is detained and then the NCDC is called in and then the person goes to quarantine and isolation. And what are you talking about? This bill from the beginning to the end is dubious. It's a dubious bill which we have discovered. And every Nigerian should stand up and come against this bill because it's a gunje has passed through the hands of the sponsors. Now chop, I chop, according to the former president of Nigeria, our Honorable Maradona, our elder statesman. I salute IBB. So we go ahead. One will lose the rights, freedom, and become a zombie. And when this happens, the next thing, finally, death sets in. When someone is compulsory vaccinated with infectious disease, because inside that vaccine, it will carry live pathogens from coronavirus. And then the person's life is being endangered because he is being monitored, programmed for destruction. Nigerians, I'm talking to you because this is a coup, is treason against Nigerians. We know that democracy is government of the people, by the people, and for the people. When it comes to a government, what is government? Government is a group of individuals either elected or selected by the people to take charge and care of the affairs of the nation. So the people are the main people behind any government. So whatever the people say and do have effect on the elected leaders. In this very regard of this NCDC Infectious Bill as presented in the House of Assembly, when it's passed, without taking due cognizance and without respecting the will of the people, then I call for the people action. When Nigerians will arise and take action. So what is the action? Let's proceed. I have to remind the sponsors of this bill of Senator Ike Ekweremadu's experience in Germany.
Look at it, the policeman. Stupid man. Stupid man. Look at him. Look at him, stupid man. Look at him, he's a useless man. He's running. He's running. He's running. He's running. He's running. He must come out. He must come out. He must go. We don't need him here. We don't need you. You must go.
I'm reminding Femi Gbajamila, Dr. Pascal, and Honorable Sununu to take cognizance and to watch Ike Ekweremadu's experience in Germany. When this bill is fictitiously and dubiously passed, Nigerians will allow them to have the same experience Ike Ekweremadu had in Germany. And like I said before, why I show the faces of these people so you know the constituency where they are coming from. Those they are representing, know their movement and watch them. Put them under watch. Now, also, when this bill is passed, and I know Nigerians will take action, and we expect the federal government and we expect the president, President Muhammadu Buhari, and his cabinet to support the people. But perhaps they don't support the people. I refer them to Sudan.
24 hours after they'd gotten rid of their dictator of 30 years, Sudanese from all walks of life were still out in the streets protesting. The activists, still euphoric from the overthrow of President al-Bashir, embraced the troops on the street. Grateful that the military chose to abandon the dictator rather than carry out his orders to crush the demonstrations.
When the dictator was authoritatively and forcefully shown the way out for governed by the people. Thank you, viewers. Never relax. Your rights is endowed by God. It's not endowed by the people. It's not endowed by the government. We have sacred rights given to us. Rights of association movement, to live, to choose where you go, and to choose whom you gather with. Nobody can take it away from us. So arise, get up, stand up, and fight for your rights. So follow us as usual in our YouTube channel, Human Emancipation Network, on our Twitter handle, HANG, on our Instagram page, Human Emancipation Network, on our Facebook page, Human Emancipation Network. Keep following us. Subscribe, like, or share this to your friends. Keep on sharing to your friends and well wishers. Thank you. We'll meet you in the next video. Shalom. Shavat. Shine your eyes.